Welcome again to FINVISION Odisha. This is the session 4 for the second day of FINVISION Odisha. So far we have had really thought-provoking discussions on various subjects. Right now we are moving to the session 4 of this conclave, and in the session 4 we are going to have deliberations and discussions on insurance. In this session, we have the privilege of having extremely distinguished speakers and guests. So, without further ado, I would like to introduce all our illustrious guests present in the occasion. We have the honor of having with us Mr. Debasish Panda, retired IAS, ex-chairman, IRDA, Mr. Parag Raja, CEO cum MD, Bharati AXA Life Insurance. We have with us Dr. Kailash Chandra Mishra, ex-director and CEO, NIA. And we have with us Mr. Asit Rathore, MD and CEO, Aviva Life Insurance. Along with our guest speakers, we also have the president of UCCIL Chamber of Commerce and Industries Limited with us, none other than Dr. Prabodh Mahanti. As a mark of our appreciation and our heartfelt gratitude, we would like to extend saplings, ornamental saplings, to our guest speakers. I would now request Mansi to kindly bring the saplings. Mansi, please. A mark of our appreciation that we would want to stay with our guest speakers rather than bouquets, of course. As the first speaker for our session on insurance, we have with us Mr. Debasish Panda. A few lines about Mr. Debasish Panda, although he is quite well known to everyone among us here today. Mr. Debasish Panda is a distinguished Indian Administrative Service Officer of 1987 batch, Uttar Pradesh cadre, renowned for his transformative leadership, pioneering reforms, and steadfast commitment to public service. Hailing from Odisha with academic excellence in physics, environmental sciences, and development management, he has leveraged his vast administrative experience across sectors like finance, health, commerce, home affairs, urban administrative experience across and rural development, to drive transformational change at both state and national levels. Over a career spanning more than 3 decades, Mr. Panda has consistently championed innovation, ease of doing business, technological integration, and people-centric governance, leaving an indelible mark across every institution he led. Mr. Panda was the chairman of the Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India and the secretary of the Department of Financial Services, Ministry of Finance. In his almost 15-year tenure in the Ministry of Finance, he also held simultaneously the position of director on the boards of Reserve Bank of India, State Bank of India, Bank of Baroda, and Life Insurance Corporation of India. He holds an MSc in Physics from Utkal University and an MPhil in Environmental Sciences from the Jawaharlal Nehru University of New Delhi. Sir, thank you so much for being with us here today. I invite you to kindly share your deliberation. Sir, please.
Very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to thank this lady for those very kind words and the introduction. Well, glad to be here today again. I was here with many of you in the morning session yesterday, the inaugural session, where we had some amount of discussion on how to make Odisha a resurgent Odisha, both in terms of having a vibrant economy and providing more employment to the people, gainful employment. And I will also see Odisha literally kick-starting the whole process of having a very, very innovative approach in solving problems, and also adoption of technology in a big way. And how do we make the best of the natural resources, the human resources, and what possibly could be done in Odisha to make it a knowledge hub, to make it a tech hub, to make it a hub for the global capability centers, become a center for manufacturing activity, become a center for nurturing the MSME ecosystem as well. So in this backdrop, if we see insurance, which is normally not understood, the power of insurance in a country which is an emerging economy, and more so when we are aspiring to become a developed economy by 2047. Ladies and gentlemen, let us first try to understand what insurance means for the citizens of this country, and particularly for the state of Odisha. Now imagine a fisherman on the coast of Gopalpur. He's got a small boat. He goes into the deep sea, expecting that he will have a good catch. Suddenly a storm comes. Then everything goes for a toss. He may lose his boat, forget about the catch. The boat gets damaged, the engine gets sinked into the water. He comes back home distraught. He has lost his lifetime savings, no income, nothing, and the family is literally, left in the lurch. And what happens if he has insurance? Simply things are back to normal, because he could get the money from the insurance by way of his claim, use that money to restart his operation. There will be a setback, but at least he will not go from where he was to poverty, impoverished, and then you have nothing, no ways and means to earn your incomes. A simple insurance policy, his life insurance policy, followed by the activity that they are into, boat insurance, etc., that could be taking care of his livelihood from sinking. Similarly, there are various activities where a business failure or a business interruption could literally eat away on the livelihood of that individual or that entity. If we look at this house and ask how many of you have health insurance, maybe a few hands will rise. When you ask how many of you have motor insurance, maybe a few more. How many have the home insurance? There will be none. How many of you have, for your, I said none, there's one hand which is there, but he's a senior banker, so probably he understands what insurance means. So what I'm essentially trying to drive home, the point is that when we talk of Viksit Bharat from the financial standpoint, you will have to have a fully banked society, you need to have a fully insured society, you need to have a fully pensioned society. Only then you can call yourself developed. Why the developed nations are developed? Because nobody starves of death. Nobody has to go and, literally beg for their livelihood or support. There is a backup system, and then you call that country it is developed. So from that standpoint, for the citizens, I would say every citizens require at least the basic insurance of a life cover, the health cover, home insurance, and all the enterprises, that is business entities, they need insurance for their business requirements. And today, let me tell you very proudly that in the last few years, the insurance authority or the regulator has undertaken a very, very positive, proactive approach to bring about major changes in the way business was carried out as far as insurance is concerned. We have two CEOs on the dais, and there are other representatives of the insurance company, they would vouch for that. That today, they have all the freedom and flexibility as far as operational issues are concerned. Heretofore, they would require a prior approval of the insurance regulator for launching a product. Forget about anything. Why should they be coming to the regulator for launching a product? The whole idea of giving them that freedom is that they can come up with a range of products suiting the requirements of the individual customer or different segments of the society. It has to match the income or the pocket size of that particular individual who needs insurance. It cannot be a one-size-fits-all insurance solution for all. Probably even within this house, you would require different solutions for different sets of people who have different incomes and different requirements. So, ladies and gentlemen, a host of such reforms have been carried out to operational freedom and flexibility so that they can take insurance to the last village, to the last person, to the last household. The other big thing that they are attempting to do, the regulator as well as the industry, is to bring about tech adoption. Without digitization and adoption of technology, we cannot reach every household, we cannot reach every person who sits in the last mile or who is sitting on the border of this country. We all understand that insurance today is always, narrated as a push product. You have to go and literally convince that person you have to buy. It is a fact. None of you, I will ask Lakshmi, has his wife ever got up in the morning and said, let's go and buy insurance? Never. कपड़ा खरीदना है तो चलो भाई आज जाकर shopping करते हैं. But nobody goes to shop insurance. How do we create that awareness? How do we make insurance people aware of insurance? How do we make insurance accessible? How do we make insurance available? And how do we make insurance affordable? So when I said, what does insurance have for the citizens? So all of this, the basic financial protection of a family in a distress, and we have seen that in the COVID times, where several breadwinners of the family died because of COVID. But several survived because they had an health insurance. The resilience comes into their own home economy, They come back, they are treated, all the claims are paid by the insurance company, so they are back to work again and the family survives and again they flourish going forward. The second big thing that happens with insurance is that it supports the economy in a big way. Today, the total assets under management, which we call the technical term, which means it is the total pool of the policyholder money which is invested in the markets in different instruments, and if you would know the number, it would be a whopping amount of, which is 80 lakh crore of money is deployed in the markets. So, out of that, more than 50% is the money which is going to the government borrowings, which is the GSECs and the state developmental loans. So, if you buy insurance, your savings are getting channelized in a very productive way in the economy. At the same time, you are protected financially, be it a businessman or be it a working person. The third important thing that it does is also that the government benefits, in the sense people are protected, so the government is also happy. They don't have to spend money by taxing you, rather the insurance supports you. Then overall the economy where this 80 crore of rupees also plays a counter-cyclical role. For example, suddenly there is something happens to the global economy. Say, for example, the US Fed will change the interest rate. Then obviously if the interest rate goes up, then there will be a outflow of the foreign portfolio investments. Then who fills up that gap? Then the insurance money fills up that gap and stabilizes the economy. So insurance has got everything to do with citizens, with businesses, with the economy and overall for the government. So when we say 2047 Viksit Bharat, we need to be a fully insured society. So I'd like to very sincerely request that insurance should become a tagline in every conference, in every assembly of people to make them more and more aware. In this context, when I was there with the IRDA, we had started a very, very ambitious project of called the Bima Trinity. Now, what is that Bima Trinity? The Bima Trinity at its core has the Bima Sugam as a population scale digital public infrastructure. आप ये समझें कि you try and understand like what UPI did for the payment and settlement system, Bima Sugam would do for the insurance sector. Bima Sugam would be an electronic marketplace for insurance products. All the insurers, all their products would be available on the Bima Sugam platform. It is not a platform, but for common parlance, I would say it is a platform, but rather it is a protocol where different networks are talking to each other. So here you can go and buy insurance with the help of your agent or the intermediary, which we call the assisted mode, or you could even directly purchase going into that portal. Say for example, you want to buy motor insurance. Today you don't know where to go and buy insurance. It's not like grocery store, yahan nahi to wahan hai, where kharid lenge hum saman. So the Bima Sugam is at your doorstep. It is there on your hand, your mobile phone or your iPad or your laptop. So that will take you to that site, display all the products. You want to buy motor insurance, then it will take you to, and the other advantage of that is your KYC is done by just punching your Aadhaar number. You will get the OTP, you authenticate that you are the person, and then thereafter your journey continues. And if you need an agent to assist you, what you are buying, whether you are buying the right kind of product, the agent will take you through that journey. So you buy there, you make the payment through the UPI or the payment gateway that you are dealing with, and then once the payment is done, the policy gets generated, it comes to you in a digital in a format in your mobile phone, and you want a printout, you can take a printout. Then the entire life cycle is also captured. Thereafter, the renewals. Automatically, you will get SMSs, emails that your renewal is due. When you are preferring a claim or there is a claim, the claim can be also filed through that same portal. If it is a health insurance claim, there are two health insurance CEOs sitting here. All they require is the document. All the policy documents, while you get a copy, are pushed into a repository and are stored till the life cycle of that product. So when there is a claim, the nominee files the claim, gives the consent to the insurance company to pull the insurance policy document, and also gives them the authority to pull the death certificate from the death and birth registry, which is now getting integrated with the Aadhaar. So the claim payment will be instant, maybe within 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes, depending on how fast they have their back BRE, the rule engine, they will be able to settle the claim. So घंटे भर में claim भी settle हो सकता है. So this is what Bima Sugam is going to do. I mean, this is only a glimpse I'm just giving or putting forth across you, but it has a variety of functions which will actually democratize and universalize insurance going forward. The other big thing would be that the price of insurance products will also, I would say that the market forces will play out and it will moderate and it will be a reasonable one. So the point of affordability will happen to a large extent when the Bima Sugam is up and going. Then the other big thing that the Bima Trinity talks about is now who will be the distributor. When I say who will be the distributor, I am talking of the hinterland, meaning the rural areas, the semi-urban areas where there is nobody to sell insurance, or there are very few. Now, if you are aware of something called the banking correspondent model, the banking correspondent model has been a very successful one as far as rural banking is concerned. So here too, we are talking of a women-centric workforce or a distribution force which will develop over time, who will be from the community. Meaning every gram panchayat you have one Bima, a lady who will be trained, everything happens online, and once trained, they are given the license to distribute insurance products. I'll come to that product, which is the third part of that Trinity. So they will be going from house to house, and we have very consciously, after very, very careful consultation, came to the conclusion that the women will be a much more powerful and a very potent source of going and convincing the household and making them understand what is the power, what is the utility of insurance, and how it is going to be a very, very useful tool when it comes to a family facing a distress. So we have decided to call this workforce or the distribution force, agency force, as Bima Vahaks overall, but the ladies will be called Bima Didis. So they will be in fact the foot soldiers on the ground to capture the new to insurance families, households and individuals, so that once they come into the fold of insurance and they understand the power of it, they will buy more and more insurance, which would be their requirement. And the third pillar of this Bima Trinity is to come with a very, very interesting product, which will be bundled product, so that the new to insurance customers will not have to understand the dynamics. Normally insurance is a little complicated. It will be a very simple, straight through product which has an element of life insurance cover, which will have some element of health insurance, which will have some element of property, and which will have an insurance element of personal accident, because a lot of people in the rural areas die of accidental deaths also occur. So a sum assured of around 8 to 10 lakhs, a premium of say roughly around 150 to 200 rupees per month is all that these people or households will have to spend, but they are fully and financially secured so that the family doesn't go into poverty and doesn't get into a debt trap. So this Bima Trinity, once implemented, I'm sure we will be able to close the protection gap, which is very high at this moment in various segments of the insurance sector. Apart from this, a host of other changes have been made in order to make sure that different kinds of general insurance products, which are non-life products, are launched in the market. Today, businesses are growing, and many of the industry representatives sitting here would understand that there is something called a bank guarantee required if you have to fulfill a contract or if you enter into an agreement. So, for example, you are a contractor, then the principal will insist that I need a bank guarantee for your performance. Now, a bank guarantee would mean a cost of capital, which means they will ask for a collateral or a fixed deposit. So that money which you would have otherwise utilized for your business gets blocked with the bank for no rhyme or reason. Now, the insurance companies are coming up with new instrument called surety bonds. This is also getting traction, but I would like to leave this thought with the Chamber of Commerce that the surety bond should be popularized, and today many insurance companies have started launching these kind of products. The other last thought I would leave with you is that why and how we can adopt, bring insurtech players. There are a lot of youngsters who come up with very, very innovative solutions for a particular ecosystem. Say, for example, you have like Raghurajpur, you have a lot of artisans. A lot of handicrafts are being made there. Now that is a small MSME ecosystem, SME ecosystem, I would say. Now how do we get an fintech? Maybe somebody from Odisha itself, somebody who has studied in an engineering college or a management institute, they club together, come and understand and study that ecosystem and try and find end-to-end solutions, not alone for insurance, but also for their financial needs, for pumping more money into their businesses or otherwise, or expanding their businesses. So I think there is enormous potential, and Odisha in particular, I think are a little behind as far as insurance adoption is concerned. And in that context, I remember when we started something akin to what the banking sector does, is to have state-level bankers committee, on the similar lines, state-level insurance committees, and also identify insurers who are keen to go and work in a particular state as the lead insurer. So we have lead insurer for life, we have a lead insurer from the non-life segment, and we also have a health insurer to focus primarily on one or two states. So I would request all of you to engage with them and others and send out this message of how insurance can be. Everybody should talk about insurance. Everybody should try and, spread this message that insurance. I'm glad that recently the General Insurance Council have come up with a massive, publicity campaign where they are saying insurance kiya, liya, acha kiya. So similarly, life insurance also should come up with these kind of campaign where people will understand what insurance is, and then the Bima, Trinity, and various of other initiatives that have been taken, I'm sure. And we have this larger vision of having insurance for all by 2047. We will be able to realize that, is my hope, expectation, and also the aspirational goal that we had set. I wish to see that. I don't know whether I'll be alive till 2047, but surely many of you would see that happening during your lifetime. So all the best to you, and I would like to thank particularly Utkal Chamber of Commerce and Industry for giving me this opportunity, Manoj Babu, Prabodh Babu, and all his colleagues for this wonderful session. And I hail from Odisha. This is my home state. And so always you have that connect, despite the fact that I've been working out of Odisha for the last almost 4 decades, 40 years. 2025, I was telling some of my friends that 40 saal pura hua, mera kaam khatam hua. So, but anyways, I'm there anytime you need anything from me in terms of whatever I can do for the state. I'm always available. Thank you very much. God bless you all.
Thank you so much, sir. It is indeed our pride that you, being in Odia, have been such a distinguished leader, such a visionary. Thank you so much for expounding such vividly on the Bima Trinity. Thank you once again for joining us in this conclave.